Welcome to the BEASTwriter podcast. I am your host, Ryan Sakamoto, and today we're going to be discussing a tweet I sent out less than 24 hours ago in regards to GM John Lynch. It was a tweet that I put on Twitter that said, 49ers GM John Lynch has made, let me move this out of the way, 49ers GM John Lynch has made questionable moves, especially regarding the defensive front seven. Malcolm Smith, $26 million. Quan Alexander, paying him $54 million. D Ford, dishing out $85 million. Trading DeForest Buckner. And then also signing Eric Armstead to an $85 million contract. Yes, I put that out there. It got 100 likes and a lot of feedback. And then you also comes with the trolls and the 49ers fans. I'm not saying it's bad to be a 49er fan, but just be real. I was once a fan too, but I always kept it real. That's why people respected my analysis even before covering the team and getting inside the NFL media and having a voice. Is you have to stay objective. You have to look at it from all angles. You can't just be like, oh man, and be positive. Being faithful is one thing. Faithful to the Bay, yeah, I get that. Forever faithful, yeah, I get that. But also be a realist about the situation. Like, did you really think Jim Druckenmiller was going to take the 49ers to the Super Bowl, even though they drafted him in the first round? I mean, stuff like that. But, oh, man, Jim Druckenmiller, man, he's going to get it done. Virginia Tech guy, he's going to get it done. Big arm. Nah, bro, it wasn't coming from me. Even at that age, when I was back in middle school, cut that rogue. Back to the tweet that I sent out. Like I said, it got a lot of feedback, and some guy who doesn't even follow me, actually he does follow me. His name is Mario D Sazo 22 says, the problem with your tweet is this doesn't live in a vacuum. Unlike the way y'all want to analyze it, how does this compare to other GMs in the division? NFC, every GM makes mistakes, but to show objective analysis, there needs to be a deeper dive. Okay, I think what he's trying to say, I get what he's trying to say, bro. I think you're saying, you're calling me out, and you're saying that my tweet holds no weight. Well, I'm going to cut that off right now, because when you attack my credibility, I'm going to spit out the facts and spit out that knowledge and keep it beast fire running, all right? I call it a beast rant, so here we go. Let's start. Da-da-ding! So I did the research and I broke down the NFC West, and we're now going to do an apples-to-apples comparison on all four NFL GMs in the NFC West. That contains Los Angeles Rams GM Les Snead, John Schneider from the Seattle Seahawks, and Steve Keim from the Arizona Cardinals. So let's get started. Starting with, dun-dun-dun-dun! Gosh, this is so fun for me because I like it when people try to call me out, because at the end of the day, it's just going to make you look bad. Just saying it, and then everything's on social media, so it's not like you can't say you didn't say it. It's on there. So, anywho, people these days. Alright, so we're going to do a compare apples to apples comparison based on my tweet, which specifically in regards to unrestricted free agents and trades. Alright, so the draft is going to be a whole different subject because my tweet was not about the draft. It was about defensive front sevens and overpaying for free agents and then making wrong trades. Okay, so let's start with the Seattle Seahawks. John Schneider became the GM of the Seattle Seahawks in 2010. He was the director of football operations, I believe, of the Green Bay Packers prior to this move. And let's take a look at what he did with the defensive front seven from 2010 until the present day. Well, in 2010, he traded for Chris Clemens, and all he did over the course of the next 3 years was lead the team in sacks with 33.5. Okay, so pretty damn good year to kick off your resume with, right? Furthermore, there was no bad moves that he made in free agency. All the moves that GM John Schneider makes is 1 to 2 year prove it deals, typically from the defensive line. Furthermore, when you look at the way the contracts are set up, it's a low risk, high reward, so the team is actually gaining all the leverage in the negotiations and outperforming that contract. Okay, all right. In 2013, let's roll back because nothing's been bad since or good since 2013, right? So bad or good. In 2013, whoops. In 2013, they signed Michael Bennett And they also traded for Cliff Averill, 2 edge setters and pass rushers. And what does that create? 16.5 sacks that first year, ranked first and second on the team in the NFL. Sorry, on the team. First and second on the team in sacks with a combined 16.5 sacks. All right. Again, 2014 to 2019, no bad moves, no good moves, so everything's basically a wash. And then in 2020, the Seattle Seahawks struck again with Carlos Dunlap. They traded for Carlos Dunlap. If you haven't read my podcast or listened to my podcast or watched my podcast, go ahead and do that. It's in the description I've put for you below. I break it down 100, and in his first game, he tore it up. I believe he had 1.5 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and really made that defense look faster than it was previously to his arrival. Carlos Dunlap, who I said, I don't want to spill the beans because I already put it out there, and check the Twitter receipt, check the YouTube receipt, check the BEASTwriter receipt. I called it. I said he's going to be really, really good for them, and I wouldn't be surprised if he racked up 8 sacks by the end of the year, at the midway point. So we're seeing what I'm talking about. He already has 1.5, so I think 1.5. At least 5 sacks. All right. And at the Leo position, although it's not a typical height, weight, speed, from his perspective, he's still getting it done, playing the position to a T. All right. So, John Schneider, defensive front 7 players, in regards to UFAs and trades, done a hell of a job. All those players I just mentioned were balling out of control. He didn't sign any high-priced free agents or make any dumb trades like John Lynch has with his defensive front 7 players. Now they're in salary cap hell from all those bad moves, and they are paying the price. Let me just go back and check my Twitter receipt. I didn't like the Quan Alexander move. I didn't. I even put that out there. Check the Twitter receipt. I said they should have used the same exact money that they gave to Quan Alexander to sign Earl Thomas. And everybody can say, well, Earl Thomas, he's a headache in the locker room, blah, blah. So what? Okay. Yes. Does that have an impact on team chemistry? Absolutely. Can that affect the team in the long run? Absolutely. But would it help the team get to the Super Bowl? Absolutely. Quan Alexander was also coming off a torn ACL. He was damaged goods before the team brought him in anyways. So John Lynch should have knew that was a red flag. Hey, man, this guy has ACL injuries. Now he has a ankle sprain this year. What are you going to do? Furthermore, you take a look at DeForest. Well, he came in with injuries too, right? And now what's happening there? In fact, the Chiefs got rid of DeForest because they were transitioning to a 4-3 base. They went from a 3-4 front to a 4-3 base. That's why they got rid of him. He goes to the 49ers who play in a 4-3 base, and he was basically paid $85 million, or what I think it was $85 million, right? To be a situational pass rusher on third downs. I mean, is that really worth $85 million? Absolutely not. If you're going to pay $85 million, you better be a 3-down player and get the job done on all 3 downs. Don't be a one-trick pony. That's all I'm saying. All right. Getting to it, 2013. Now we're moving on to the Arizona Cardinals. Steve Keim became the GM of the Arizona Cardinals, I believe, in 2013. And his first year, what did he do? Oh, he just got John Abraham. And what did John Abraham do? Oh, he just ranked 7th in the NFL in sacks with 11.5. No bad moves from the defensive front 7 that year in regards to trades. So, it's a win. Nothing was really done from 2014 to 2015, so it's basically a wash. Then in 2016, Steve Keim struck gold again. He traded for Chandler Jones for the New England Patriots for, I believe, a 2nd-round pick. And all Chandler Jones did was return a top 5 edge rusher in the NFL, record 60 sacks in his next 4 years in Arizona, while being a 2-time first-team All-Pro. For those who don't follow me, you know that I value All-Pro status better than Pro Bowl status. And the reason I do that is because Pro Bowl status is a household name now. All-Pro status is voted by beat writers, reporters, and those in the media like myself. Okay? Just saying. It's the cream of the crop, best of the best. So, nothing was done from 2017 to 2018. 2018, moving on. And then 2019, the Cardinals struck gold again with Jordan Hicks, signing him to a 4-year deal, I believe. And he's a tackling machine. He's sound in coverage, and he's very stable as a plug-and-play player for the next 4 to 5 years. So when you look at all that, the big picture, I guess, in this Ram scheme of things, you have to think that Steve Keim and John Schneider are both beating John Lynch because they didn't overpay for unrestricted free agents, and the free agents that they did pay for, they panned out. You don't see Steve Keim trading Chandler Jones after he went to 2 All-Pro berths, or recording 60 sacks in his first 4 years in Arizona and then ship him out because they couldn't afford him. No, you keep your talent. You keep your talent. All right. Moving on to Snead from the Los Angeles Rams. Well, it was then St. Louis Rams, now transitioned to Los Angeles Rams. Okay, we get it. Okay. So, in 2000, nothing was done with Snead as far as defensive front seven. He didn't make any bad mistakes as far as signing unrestricted free agents or making stupid trades or dumb trades with his defensive front seven. So his first real move was back in 2018 when they traded for Dante Fowler, who basically was considered a first-round bust up to this point. He had a hell of a year in 2019. I believe he had 11.5 sacks, if I'm not mistaken. You can double check my facts on that, but I believe he had 11.5 sacks last year in a contract year. The Rams weren't willing to re-sign him or re-up him for the following season. He went off to Atlanta Falcons, signed a big money deal, and got paid there, secured the bag. And as a result, he's not having as strong a year as you had hoped for a player that was paid that much. So Snead, good job for you. Get the value that you can. If you see you're being overpriced or outbidded by another team because you don't see his value at that price point, get rid of him, wipe your hands clean, move on. That's what you do. So when looking at the big picture and getting back to your question or what's his name? Mario Zdazo 22. How does this compare to other GMs in the division, the NFC West? Well, I just broke it down for you, bro. John Lynch is the worst. Holla at your boy. I speak facts, man. I don't mess around. Like I said, you attack my credibility, I'm going to attack you with my knowledge. Straight up. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's all I got to say. Don't do it. Don't do it. You'll lose every time. Don't do it. And when I am wrong, I check my own receipts, but it's not very often that I'm wrong. Just calling it out there. That's why people follow me. That's why you guys follow me, because you like my analysis and predictions. And when I am wrong, it's like, oh my gosh, BEASTwriter is wrong. Well, if I was 100% right, I'd be God. No one is God. Okay? Even though that's the standard you guys set forth for me, I understand. It's a standard that I uphold, and I love the challenge of being right 100% of the time. Unfortunately, no one is 100% right, because if I was, I'd be a rich man and winning the lotto. Alright, well that'll be it for me today. I hope you had what I like to offer. If you did, please hit the subscribe button in the lower right hand corner of your screen as I keep all things Beast. Take care, everyone. Have a good night. BEASTwriter out.